Oh, hey there. How are you? Hope everybody's had a good day out there in the world. I have had a long day. Been a long day. Bit of a roller coaster today. I had a couple of really good things going on. Had a couple of really challenging things going on, and really testing my resolve to have a good day. It's times like this that I try to stop and assess how I'm really doing and how things are really going, especially on a day when you've just had a complete roller coaster of emotions and you're like bone tired mentally and physically. What I find in situations like this is it's a really good idea to stop and just ask yourself some pretty basic questions. So I have 5 questions for you to ask yourself when you find yourself in those moments of being unsure, how am I really doing and how things are really going? Question number 5 that I want you to ask yourself is, regardless of if things are going great or things are going not so great, do I really appreciate what I have? We get used to a certain comfort level with our station in life. Of course, we all want to be better and do better on some level, somewhere, somehow. But even when we have it, quote unquote, good, do we stop to think of whether or not we appreciate those things that we have? The number 4 thing that I want you to ask yourself when you're feeling a little bit unsure about whether things are going well is, what does my gut tell me? I really think at this point in society, people have conditioned themselves to ignore their intuition. And I really think it's kind of a conscious choice, because your instincts, your gut is going to tell you how you really feel. Problem is, that gut feeling may conflict with what you actually have going on in the real world. For example, you might be stressed out in your job. You might be thinking, oh God, I wish I could do something else. Your gut feeling is telling you that there's a better opportunity for you to maybe chase a dream that you never did. But the reality of the situation is you can't afford to lose that job that's stressing you out right now because you have bills and obligations. That can cause us to naturally kind of just brush our gut feelings aside and say, well, it doesn't really matter because I don't have a choice. And look, a lot of times that's absolutely true. We do have situations and obligations and things that we are responsible for. That doesn't mean you should ignore your gut feeling. Acknowledge it. Keep a mental checklist somewhere of the things that you know you want so that you don't lose sight of that dream. What I'm trying to say with number 4 is, you shouldn't only think of those dreams during times of stress. Which actually brings me to the number 3 question, which is, am I doing what I want to do? Or am I doing what I have to do? To a certain extent, am I choosing my path, or is my path being chosen for me? Can't always control those circumstances. All right, number 2. Say you get to the end of your day today, you're feeling unsure about how things went, you know there was some good stuff, you know there was some tough stuff, or maybe it's the next morning, you're waking up and trying to come to terms with everything that happened the day before. The number 2 question I want you to ask yourself is, did I or will I do something good today? I can't speak for you, and I can't speak for everybody. All I can tell you is I live by a quote from Abraham Lincoln. When I do good, I feel good. That's my religion. Whether it's the beginning of the day or the end of the day, I want to ask that question. Did I do something good today, either for myself or something good for someone else? If you want the true measure of a person's character, if you really want to take stock in whether or not things are going well for you, this might be a good indicator. All right, and the number 1 thing that I want you to ask yourself when you're in these moments of uncertainty about how things are really going in your life, it's a very simple question. Who am I? Remember a few questions back, we asked whether or not we're paying attention to our gut feelings and our intuition. We said how there's a lot of times when we'll kind of lie to ourselves and ignore what we're truly feeling because it doesn't fit with our circumstances. I think the same thing can absolutely apply to admitting who you really are. Nobody out there is perfect, certainly not me. We all have our quirks, we all have our flaws, we all have our failings. Honestly and sincerely ask yourself this question, who am I? what is important to me? What is the character within me that drives the decisions I make and the things I do? And again, let's be honest, those answers could come back and you find it's a little bit tough to admit that maybe I'm not the person I think I am. You don't have to admit that to anybody else. You don't have to say it out loud. At some point, you got to be honest with yourself. Or the other way around. Maybe you've got this self-image that you're a wing-sprouting, halo-tipped angel, that you can do no wrong. Make sure that's true, because if there is a dark side in there, you might just find yourself doing things that contradict that self-image that you love to project. As is often the case with these driving vlog conversations, just talking about it out loud kind of tends to help. Well, me anyway. I don't know about you, but I feel a bit better. And I hope that maybe you jot these questions down somewhere or keep them in the back of your head. If you are new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe and come along for more of these discussions. And until next time, my friends, thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the road. So I've got 5 questions for you to ask yourself when you find yourself in these moments of uncertainty.